Thanks, Heather. Time now to talk to business with our partners, 2degrees. We've heard how the Commerce Commission is ratcheting up pressure on the big supermarket chains. We had the Grocery Commissioner in this morning. What are businesses making of this? Garth Bray from Business Desk is with me now. Garth, good morning.
Good morning, Ryan.
We've had some reaction from Woolworths and from Foodstuffs as well.
That's right, yeah, Foodstuffs. You'll be surprised, supports efforts to ensure a grocery market that works for all New Zealanders. There's always kind of a thank you very much for your feedback at the start of all these things. Interestingly, Foodstuffs put out two separate statements for North Island and South Island, trying to sort of push that message that they're two chains, not one, running across the country.
They are separated though, aren't they?
Yeah,
they're purchasing arms.
There's a discussion there about whether the brand and whether there's some relationships that go on there. But yeah, you're right. And they're talking about, I think the point that they were hammering in the North Island one, which is that they want to ensure retailers can negotiate fairly. And that's probably their argument, saying, hey, if you start stripping away our ability to negotiate some of these billions of dollars worth of trade spend, as it's called in the trade, this is the charges that the Commissioner was talking about, that might make it more difficult for us to negotiate. That $5 billion figure we heard this morning, that's new. I've not heard that number before. There was a reference in the market review the Commerce Commission did a couple of years ago to billions of dollars worth of trade spend. And this is pretty significant stuff. This can be anything from negotiating deals on a special, which, as you pointed out, look, people love a special. I guess the problem is that specials aren't always that special. Sometimes they wind up just being priced because it's there
manufactured.
For long. And it's also keeping us guessing, keeping us moving from one to the other. There's an argument that if you had a more stable state where it was just a lower price, I guess what the Commissioner is trying to argue is you would have those companies not paying those extras. They'd be able to offer a regular low price to the supermarkets. Hopefully they'd pass that on to us.
Right.
Let's see if that happens.
Well, that's the thing. And $5 billion is a huge chunk of money. This is an industry that pulls in $25 billion a year.
Yeah.
And we're talking about $5 billion.
Yeah.
And, I mean, he's either saying the whole system is such a rort that it's actually, the excess profits are way more and above what we originally thought, or, I mean,
It's tricky, right? Because Woolworths, when it's responding, is saying, hey, look, we've got great relationships. We've already got our wholesale up and running with sort of 60 different businesses, your Circle K's, your Mad Butchers and so on. We've got 230 suppliers, so our wholesale side that we stood up basically in response to the law change, didn't really happen before, is responding. But they're still on this figure of 62 cents out of every dollar goes back to suppliers. It's never quite been clear to me, or I think anyone outside of the supermarkets, how much of that 62 cents might be actually a bit of trade spend coming back to the supermarkets as well, and that throws a bit of a cast over all of this. So,
true.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about energy. So this is some good news, actually.
Yeah.
A capital raise for Lodestone Energy.
Lodestone they're a little startup that started buying farms and putting solar on them. They've got 3 solar farms on the North Island. They're getting one up and running in Coromandel, and they've just completed a Series D raise, I think. So this is the 4th time they've gone to investors. We're talking some big names like Sir Stephen Tyndall's, K1W1, Sam Morgan, and some others who've put 50 million into basically enabling them to push into the lower North Island, to Manawatu, and to the South Island. And this is interesting. They're not putting batteries on the farms yet. They're just selling straight into the grid. But they're saying with the prices that they've been able to get by building at scale, getting the cost of those panels down, they reckon it's a cheaper contract than just about anything you can get. They're selling straight to big industrials as well, and they're thinking about whether at some point they might want to whack batteries in there too. So it's on a rainy day with snow in the south and rain in the north, it's hard to imagine there's much solar going on, but they assure us.
But there's a lot going in, a lot of farms going in.
Yeah, bright future.
Hey, Garth, good to see you as always.
Always.
See you tomorrow morning. That's Garth Bray, who is with us from Business Desk every morning, thanks to our partners at 2degrees. It's 17 away from 8 o'clock now. Snow in the South Island.